Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. So I wanted to send out this quick video with you guys before the week was up. It's going to be more so along the lines of losing teeth. Now, there's been some instances where some people either have seen it in various imagery forms or they may have seen it in their own dreams. And it's not a bad thing. I think when people think of the idea of losing teeth, they think of it as like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna walk around with no teeth, or what's an old name? Snagatooth. I don't know if you guys remember that from coming up as kids. I used to remember hearing that about someone being snagatooth, meaning like missing a tooth or two, or more for that matter, depending on the situation. But yeah, I wanted to share my thoughts about it, and actually there's some biblical context behind it too for those who are believers as well. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and just jump right in. So the whole notion of losing teeth, actually, I think of it in my own opinion as more so as a letting go of the old and embracing the new. I too at one point encountered this actually, where I had that dream, and I remember when I initially had it, it freaked me out. But what was so peculiar about my dream is because as the teeth were coming out, they looked like they were small baby teeth of sorts, and there wasn't a lot of them, but it was just like noticeable in the dream. And one thing I did notice is that as they fell out, there was a new, stronger tooth that came in that was much fuller in size, more like an adult tooth, if you will. So I was very perplexed when I woke up from the dream, and I didn't quite understand. I'm like, what does this mean? So I remember I did some digging, and online web searching is your friend in various forms. But when you kind of piece it together, you start to kind of get the gist of what the dream was all about. Now, in the biblical context, there was actually a scripture in the Bible, and for those who might want to go take a look at it and think about it thereafter, please do. The scripture itself is actually, and for those of you who don't know, I'm actually looking at my laptop here. It's Isaiah 41, verse 14 to 15. And it looks like it says, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff." And again, the verse itself is Isaiah 41, 14 through 15. So that's a little example there of that, for those who may want to go look at that thereafter. But I say all this to say, if you two are encountering this, where you're having this type of dream that's just so random, and you're just like, what is the significance behind it? What is the spiritual meaning behind it? Because after all, and I keep saying this in a lot of my videos, you guys, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Let's not lose sight of that. Always know, whenever it's dreams of that nature, there has to be a meaning behind it. Same could be said, excuse me. Same could be said if it's dreams with certain types of animals in it, or if you've had dreams where certain loved ones that may have passed on are visiting you. And let's say you're talking to them, right? As another example. But you notice they're not really speaking to you in the verbal sense like we do, right? With our mouths. It's because when it comes to how they communicate in the spiritual realm, they don't use their mouths, you guys. I don't know if some of you may not be aware of that, but now you know. So if you ever had cases where you were in the dream and you're talking with them, like let's say it was your mom, or maybe a passed on uncle or a grandparent, like a grandma or grandfather, and you're talking to them like how I'm talking to you guys in this camera, right? But yet you're noticing they're not really saying anything, but they're being attentive to you and what you have to say, and they may be doing things in terms of their action to show you that they hear what you're saying or what they may want to pass on to you. But as far as verbalizing it, right, they're not doing it in the way that I'm doing it right now on the camera as I'm looking at you guys here. The reason for that is because in the spiritual space, they don't communicate in that same form as we do here in the physical. It's more so energy communicating with energy. It's kind of like that analogy. Let me think of another example. Now, let's say there was 3 people in the room, right? Or no, let's say there were 2 people in the room. And let's say there was someone came in dressed in some type of a bunny costume. And let's say you and that other person who would be maybe one of your friends was sitting there, and you're looking at this person, and then you look at each other without saying anything, and you're both able to read each other's facial expression in terms of what the other person is thinking. Think of it in that case. It's the same concept when you think about the spiritual space. So they don't have to speak in terms of verbalizing it as I am on this camera when speaking to you guys. They do so in terms of energy, in a sense to kind of like let you know what they're thinking, if that makes sense. I'm hoping this makes sense for those who are actually just embarking on this journey and don't have a clue why that often happens in their own personal dreams. Kind of went off on a tangent there, but if you guys need me to clarify any further, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would be glad to do so. But yeah, it's kind of like that same concept where you can kind of like look at a person and they can kind of read your energy, your facial expression, and all of that without you actually verbalizing it. It's the same in regards to how they communicate in the spiritual space. With that being said, if you too are encountering these type of dreams, such as the losing of teeth, but yet you're noticing, if you pay close attention, you'll see that those very small teeth that are falling out, and it's only a few, they're being replaced with thicker, stronger teeth that are more fitting to you as an individual. There's a spiritual meaning behind that, and more of a positive spiritual meaning behind that. So don't be alarmed. Whenever you have those type of dreams, you guys just look into it and do a search. And hopefully this video can help give clarity to others as well, who either may have experienced this in past, who may have most recently experienced this as of late, or going forward in the future. Whoever comes across it, hopefully this could be a benefit to them. That is all for today's quick video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. Also, I do want to say welcome to the new followers on my page. I am seeing you guys come in, and I definitely want you to know that I see you and I do appreciate you. Also, consultations are still open. Today is going to be a crazy day. It's Friday, so I am completely booked. But as far as setting up an appointment for the next week that's coming up, please by all means look at our calendar in the comment. Well, it's not in the comment section below. I'm sorry. It depends on where I'm posting. You'll see it. Like if it's on YouTube, you'll see it. I'll have it in like the section below. But just know that you can actually access the calendar from there. If you should have any issues with doing so, by all means, send me either an email. My email details are below. Also, you can just message me on any of the platforms directly, and I do respond back. I don't need people on red. And yeah, we can then set up the appointment from there accordingly. And for those of you who have just jumped on board to the family, I want you to know that I'm also in the field house when it comes to keynote speaking as well as motivational speaking. So if you happen to be a part of a particular organization and you have an event that's coming up and you would like for me to come out and partake in that experience with you as a speaker, by all means, have someone from your organization to reach out to me, where we can then go over the appropriate details and move forward accordingly. So with all that being said, you guys, I'm definitely sending you off with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. Be blessed, you guys.